SportsTissueBox.com.
SportsTissueBox.com.
Get your SportsTissueBox.com.
Football season is here, and what better way to commemorate the season than to grab your sports tissue box now at sportstissueboxes.com. Whether you're celebrating the thrill of victory or agony defeat, sports tissue boxes are there for both young and old. Grab your sports tissue box now at sportstissueboxes.com.
Call them, baby, the Mets are here.
Right here for you.
Regain your financial freedom by grabbing the book 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, an Amazon bestseller written by none other than Dr. Boyce Watkins. Grab the book now. Also, heating up summer 2023, B1 the movie, starring Dr. Claude Anderson, Madam President, and Riza Islam. Atlanta, Georgia, get ready. The All-Black National Convention is coming your way October 2023. We had the privilege of attending an All-Black National Convention. It was an absolutely life-changing experience. To get a free Dr. Boyce Watkins Black Business School training on how to make money without working, text the word STOCK to 31996.
Let's start off, man. Let's start off with this. I don't know if you've seen a couple days ago, the young lady out. She was out and about doing her thing. She got hit by a brick. She was talking about how black men weren't out there protecting her. Caused a huge debate amongst black men and black women, something we've seen, a narrative we've seen for a very long time now. We've seen some things about her that maybe kind of go against what she said, but that just also furthers the argument on the other side. It's a lot going on with the situation, brother. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on the entire situation and just to break down in the divide between black men and black women.
Well, off top, you know, as a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and, you know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad Nation of Islam, we taught as far as the duty and the role of the man. No man can properly respect or protect who he cannot righteously control. You know what I'm saying? So if our sisters is out here wild, but then they complaining like we the most disrespected and unprotected, you know, but you out there out of control and you don't submit to no, you know, righteous black man natural authority or protection or whatever, because you want to do whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, then you forfeit protection. You forfeit our protection if you're out there wild, because if we can't control you, we can't protect you. And control is not a bad thing. You stop at a red light, you go to the courthouse, you do all, you gotta check in on your job on time and come back after lunch on time. Like you know how to follow instructions, you know how to obey. You know what I'm saying? But it's something about when it comes from a black male, then you get specific and say that we not showing up, or you know, we unreasonable or whatever. So you know, the proof is in the pudding. Like if you play, you know, like they say, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Right. Yeah. So with that whole dynamic, the relationship dynamic, would it be safe to say that the black man hates the black American woman to a certain extent? You think it's like the crazy divide now between us because of the history and things that happen?
Yeah, definitely. And it's not quote unquote by our cause. We perpetuate it now. We keep it going, but it was instilled and installed over the last 500 years of slavery here. Before this land was even called America, the natural hatred of our opposite, you know, our open enemy, that mindset, that mark of the beast in their forehead was put into our forehead. So whatever they hate, we hate. And if they hate black males, then we hate black males. So females hate black males in the form of this nigga deadbeat daddy or whatever, or he's a trick, he's a sucker, he's a lame. And we hate other black males in the form of blood, crip, GD, BD, you know. So yeah, it's that kind of program. And that's why as a student of, you know, Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, the knowledge of self is the thing that we need. So after getting the knowledge of self, the knowledge of our history, the knowledge of our enemy and all that, if we choose to continue that hatred, then we guilty.
What do you think about the dynamic between black Americans here in this country and our brothers and sisters from the Caribbean, Africa, and other nations that have melanated people? But we see today, I mean, I don't want to say that it's prevalent like publicly or out in real life, but on social media, you see a lot of dynamic, you see a lot of divide between black people that grew up, that were born here, as opposed to ones that grew up and lived in different countries. That's a debate that's even going on within the lady that got hit with the brick. Oh, she's from Somalia. Oh, them men aren't from America. don't compare the black men from America to the black men in other countries. What do you think about that dynamic?
Well, we called it, for those that's familiar with Bible or prophecy or Quran prophecy or Jewish prophecy or you know, this it's a specific people that went through a specific hell. They went through 400 years of bondage and slavery and dehumanization and destruction and been turned inside out. And those went through the worst condition and became what's called mentally dead. And that's what the resurrection is all about. It ain't about human beings getting up out of the cemetery literally or whatever. It's about being mentally and spiritually resurrected from gross mental destruction and ignorance of 4.5 more centuries of slavery. So we got a specific problem, but we also, you know, are that potential diamond in the rough, or that phoenix, that the fact that we went through the worst condition in human history, it prepared us to be the best people in human history. So that's where we at right now. So the ones that never went through this level of hell, they don't, you know, they don't understand, they can't really relate, you know, they can sympathize, but they in no position to judge what happened to us because they didn't suffer that.
Right.
Right. I want to switch gears a little bit. You ever heard of a dude named Brother Polite?
Yeah, I heard of Brother Polite.
What's your thoughts about him? And then today, you know, I don't know if you heard about his case, but
No.
he okay. Well, I don't want to say the word because of YouTube, but pretty much he was accused of messing around with his girlfriend's daughter at the time. And today it came in that he was sentenced to 7 years in prison. You know what I mean? I forget the exact charges, but he was, you know, got 7 years in prison. If you want to comment on that.
Yeah, I don't know enough to comment on.
Okay.
I've heard him say stuff that was kind of, you know, negative towards Islam and towards
Yeah.
so-called organized religion, and you know, a lot of it is just entertainment and shock value, you know, gaslighting type of stuff. But you know, what we let come out of our mouths, we held accountable for it, and of course, whatever actions that we do, if they don't line up with what we claim is that's coming out of our mouth, then you know we can't hide from universal justice. They call it karma,
Right.
you call it whatever else, but this time that we living in is so fast. Like the reward for whatever we do comes back so fast. You know, you do some dirt, you're gonna you're gonna f around, you're gonna find out right away. So if he was effing around, he finding out.
Right. And what's the black husband gang behind you?
Oh
Talk
man,
to me about
that's
that.
my real, yeah, that's my hood. That's my real hood. So
Okay.
I don't bang a neighborhood. I don't bang a, you know, this and that. I bang fatherhood, husbandhood, brotherhood, manhood. And as a man now, I'm almost, next month, God willing, I'll be 54 years old. So
Beautiful.
I'm way out of adolescent thoughts and behaviors. This is the real success. It's the real bag to me. You know what I'm saying? And
Gotcha.
that's the relationship between a natural heterosexual black man and a natural heterosexual black woman, identifying the real the real war and the real enemy that they up against, and acknowledging that we are in an army, we're in a war, and having a woman, a black woman that understands that and knows that the games and the tricks and the traps that these people who print the money is going to try to offer my wife or offer my sisters or my daughters or whatever to gas their heads up against their own man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that's about. It's about black men, you know, me being a black man and a black husband that's rallying us up and making that cool and gangster and tough, like how we was doing everything else. So I'm banging black husbandhood.
Respect.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of brothers that share the same mindset as you. I mean, two right here, protectors.
Yes, sir.
Alpha males, protecting your woman, protecting your family, protecting your household, making sure that you stand tall as a man, a strong heterosexual, natural born man, some values that we hold very strongly here. But it seems like in today's society, in today's culture, without saying it, it's very passive aggressively done. They're trying to wipe that out, in particular with black men. And it kind of correlates along the line with the divide between us and our women.
Right.
So talk about that. Why do you feel as though it seems like it's more of an agenda now than ever to destroy the black man in particular?
Right. Not to get to preaching or whatever, but we familiar with Christianity, and in the Bible it say, that the dragon, or whoever these dragon people that enslaved us, once they seen that they was being exposed, then they came after the people with great wrath, because they know they had but a short time left. So as they see they at the end of their time, it's an all-out push. It's Custer's last stand, as it was in the beginning with the serpent and Eve, or woman. They know that that she's the key. She's the key to take us down with them into the fire. So if they can get into her head, she's of course gonna infect the children and take the children over there with the enemy, and they're gonna go down into that fire together. And that's what's going on right now. So it's about who controls money and who controls media, because that's really, I'm talking about, what we want intrinsically. We want to be able to pay for, and live in luxury, or live out of debt or whatever. So, and we want to be known. We naturally original people, kings and queen gods, male and female gods. So we desire to be known, because we know we divine, we know we great, we know we universal. So the people that control the ability for us to be known, and control the ability for us to have luxury and feel like we're not starving or living check to check. And that would be like, the bankers, the Federal Reserve, or, and the people that own the media. And these same people are the ones behind breaking up the nuclear family, that's pushing up the whole trans, rainbow, whatever, anti-natural death style. So, that's the real enemy. You can ask Trump about that.
Right.
Good segue.